The 73 years old Joe Cooley and his wife owned a two-room cabin located in southwest of Whitefish Township that they used to go regularly to enjoy their retirement time. The cabin was close to a river. The view out of the back window of the cabin was really beautiful and reminded the couple of postcard pictures. The cabin was rustic and didn't have any running water, electricity, or generator. Joe really enjoyed spending time in the cabin, but his wife wasn't that attached. Joe used to spend weeks at the cabin and his wife would come on the weekends to visit him. On July 12, 2008, Joe parked his van 1 mile from the cabin and started to walk to his cabin with his 9 years old black and white Springer Chow mixed dog. Family members claimed the dog was really loyal to Joe and never left his side. Now, anytime Joe spent his time in the cabin, he used to call his wife at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. every day to make sure everything is okay. On July 13th, one day after Joe and his dog reached the cabin, Joe takes a trail back to his van for whatever reason with his dog and they disappear. Law enforcement found Joe's keys in the van and the vehicle unlocked. According to the family, this is something that Joe would never do. Joe's sons stated something pulled him away, but what? The search for Joe was one of the largest search in Michigan state history. The search included cadaver dogs, Michigan State Police, Border Patrol canine units, the search and rescue team, and lots of volunteers. The official search was suspended after the 4th day, but the volunteers continued for weeks later. The search area was around 10,000 acres. Interestingly enough, the family went back to the cabin on August 1st, 2008 early in the morning, around 2 weeks after Joe and his dog went missing, and they found Joe's dog sitting at the front door, about 20% lighter but in generally good condition. It didn't appear as the dog was living in the woods for weeks. There was no ticks, no bug bites, nor other indicators of the dog spending the past couple of weeks in the woods. The dog used to bark all the time, but now, after they found him, the dog didn't bark for 3 days. Joe was never found, and to this day we don't know what happened to him. The Van Alles family went to a vacation in western Arkansas area in June 16, 1946. They drove to the Devil's Den State Park and rented a cabin. The family was consisted of the father, a 13-year-old girl, an 11-year-old boy, and another 8-year-old girl named Catherine. When they arrived to the cabin, the father took the children to play in the water in a dam nearby. Once they started to play in the water, Catherine fell into the deep portion of the water, and the woman pulled her out and told her to not play in there because it's dangerous. So Catherine listened, and instead she went to the outflow of the creek below the dam at 2:30 p.m. The outflow had several large boulders and rocks, and this was the last location that Catherine was seen. The elevation of the dam is about 1,000 feet, although at its peak it goes as high as 1,600 feet. After a short period of time, the family noticed Catherine was missing. So at first, they started a search by themselves, but when they didn't find anything, they informed the sheriff and a formal search was organized. The sheriff focused his attention to a 16-foot deep pool of water beneath the dam, thinking the girl might have been drowned. So he drained the pool but didn't find anything. At June 18, 2 days after the girl went missing, he stated that it's unlikely that she has drowned in that area. After a few days of searching and not finding anything, at June 22nd, 6 days after the girl went missing, the superintendent of the state park stated that there is a possibility the girl was taken from the area by a passing motorist or another person. On June 23rd at around 3:30 p.m., a group of searchers were 7 miles from where Catherine was last seen. The group was making their way up the mountain with thick bushes and calling Catherine's name. As the team neared the summit, Catherine called out, "Here I am." The university student of Arkansas with the name of Porter Chadwick was the first person to find the girl. She was wearing just a bathing suit and nothing else. She had scratches all over her body and there was a lot of insect bites on her. Although she was found 7 miles from the last place she was seen after 7 days, but the mountaineers and expert trackers believed she had walked 24 to 36 miles through the forest without shoes. Catherine was interviewed later on by law enforcement and stated she remembers sleeping in the warm grass the first night, but doesn't remember the next few days or nights. She said she found a cave high up a mountainside where she spent the last few nights before she was found. She stated the cave had a pool of clean water and there were berries that she found in the area and eventually ate them. The girl was missing 7 days without any shoes, pants or coat, and yet managed to survive although it was her first time in the woods. Catherine was hospitalized for 2 days and released in excellent condition. The doctors stated she was suffering from multiple cuts and minor case of shock, but they never mentioned any dehydration or her suffering from lack of food. Dowden Park is a rural, 7,000 acres, heavily wooded close to Great Smoky Mountain National Park. In mid-March 2007, the 12-year-old Michael Abori went camping with the Boy Scout troop into the wilds of Dowden Park. On March 17th, Michael woke up late and saw there is a new camp leader in the area. So Michael stayed in the area, ate lunch while waiting for the other scouts to return. At around 1 p.m., the boys realized Michael was missing and notified the adults. People started looking for the boy, but he wasn't found. So they notified the authorities. In the first night that he went missing, searchers found his mess kit less than a mile from the camp. Searchers felt positive, thinking they're getting close to the boy. It's worth noting that searchers were compromised early in the search when the rain started to pour down heavily. This is a common occurrence for missing 411 cases. In this search, all the officials such as National Park Service, State Park Service, and state personnel participated along with a couple of helicopters. For the first few days, the group found nothing. After the boy couldn't be found, FBI came to the scene and stated they were monitoring the search in the area, which is an odd thing since FBI never comes to the missing scene unless they think there is a criminal activity involved. Reminding you, this is still an early stage in the search. When the boy went missing, there was a missing people alert that went off outside the area in case the boy got outside the woods, which again is not a usual thing and doesn't happen unless someone in the authority thinks the child was abducted. 3 days after the boy went missing, the searchers were about 1 mile from where he was last seen when they saw the boy near a creek. It's worth noting that searchers searched this area before and did not find anything. Searchers found the boy disoriented but able to talk. 1 day after the boy was found, his father made the statement that Michael still hasn't told them anything, and the boy is not aware how many days he was in the woods. There is no further details about what happened to Michael on the record.